up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly. Good morning everyone, or good afternoon, and welcome to our Wednesday reading assembly. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, together we will. Every single Stukeley day we focus on. Our Stukeley motto is, our Stukeley curriculum is, our Stukeley plan for home learning is, and 4 words that make the magic happen. Yes, they do. Hello everyone, it's our last reading assembly of the school year. I put this jacket on. I wore this jacket for the first reading assembly that we ever did in the garage, and I put it on because it was cold. And actually, I've worn it ever since. It's now my reading assembly jacket, and I'm so pleased I've got my own outfit. Anyway, this is the last time I'm going to wear this jacket this year. We are going to finish off Great Expectations. Before that, I've got a little treat for you from a story from quite a while ago. We've then got a brand new but final cheer boost song or silence of the school year. Then we've got Shoutouts, most important 60 seconds. And then everyone, it's very, very close to the end of the school year. Okay, right, thinking about authors, we read a Roald Dahl book a few weeks ago. We read SEO Trot. And by the time we got to the end of SEO Trot, we were saying that poem at the start and you all had to put in the missing words. So, bit of a challenge. I think you're going to be great on this. I'm now going to play a video clip from that assembly a few weeks ago. I will read the SEO Trot poem and you've all got to join in with the answer and see if you can get the answer before it comes up on the screen. See if you can do that. Okay, here we go. Right, here we go. Join in with the last bits. Our current book, oh, it's not really current, but anyway. Our reading book was, the author is, he creates the greatest, nobody is. Mr. Hoppy is the, with Miss Silver he's, her tortoise is called, Mr. Hoppy lives, Miss Silver is, as Alfie, Mr. Hoppy sends her, she reads it nice and the words are written, there's lots of tups and Mr. Hoppy heads out to the many tortoises he must, he buys 100 and keeps them in his, hidden from Miss, she must not smell. He heads to his old, this plan he must not. He builds a tube with a tortoise. When Miss Silver went off to, he got his tortoise to lift up Alfie from, then a new tortoise he'd, every time Miss Silver, Mr. Hoppy did the, replacing the tortoise, so much bigger Alfie, Miss Silver kept reading the, and the tortoise grew and, she thought that the poem worked, but we know that that wasn't. Then one day the tortoise got, Mr. Hoppy went one step The new Alfie couldn't get in there. Miss Silver thought this was. Mr. Hoppy felt brave, so if he could come down too, he rushed down to solve her next and to make him her hero. He told her to read anew with words written backwards. This time the tortoise would get, but he'd wait for Miss Silver, and when she went to work he'd get, then replace the tortoise for one. Miss Silver would be, and after she shrieked he rushed to her flat, and Mr. Hoppy proposed with Alfie they lived, the two from below, and right, there we go. Well done everyone. I don't know how you got on with that, but I hope you did a brilliant job. And if you ever read SEO Trot in the future, or you read it, maybe you read it to your own children if you have them in quite a few years' time. Anyway, I just hope you'll remember that we read it together in reading assembly, and we used that poem to remember it. Anyway, we're going to finish off Great Expectations now. There's only a few pages left. I do not want my memorising of it to be boring, so I'm going to go super fast. Great Expectations. Pip, main character, lives with his sister and his uncle Joe, bumps into a convict. He helps the convict gets caught. Pip lives a pretty simple life, gets invited up the road to Miss Havisham's house, really doesn't want to go, gets himself ready. When he gets there, Mrs. Havisham is this just really awful lady, dressed in a wedding dress, wedding cake, really dusty place. He plays cards with Estella, starts to fall in love with her. He knows he shouldn't, but he does. Keeps going back to visit Miss Havisham, decides to become Joe's apprentice. Somebody gives him some money to become Joe's apprentice. He makes friends with Biddy. Biddy is his friend. She teaches him to read and write. He doesn't really want to become an apprentice, but Joe goes to visit Miss Havisham. Pip starts to get really embarrassed of his family. In the pub, in the tavern, one evening, bumps into this man. This man says, "You've got some money to go to London. Have a great time." Great Expectations. Pip leaves. Everyone's upset. He doesn't really want to go, but he does want to get away from Joe. He settles in. He becomes more and more embarrassed of his family. Joe comes to visit him, says your sister's not very well. He goes back, sees Miss Havisham, still in love with Estella, not a great time, realises that Miss Havisham's been winding him up. His sister dies and he forgot to go and visit her. He feels awful, but he's still embarrassed. Goes back to see Estella again. The house sets on fire. Miss Havisham dies in the fire. I mean, I shouldn't really keep showing you that, but what a horrific tale. He ends up in hospital. Who looks after him? Joe. Unbelievable scenes. Then this guy comes back to visit Magwitch, the convict. He says that he's given Pip all that money. He wanted Pip to live a good life because he'd saved him at the start of the story. Pip just doesn't know what to do, and then we finish off. Pip invited Magwitch to share a pot of tea with him. Magwitch told Pip how, after he got arrested on the marshes, he was taken to Australia to a prisoner's colony. He never forgot the boy, Pip, who saved his life, and he worked hard to make a fortune so he could give that money back to Pip. He'd sent the money to Pip and said he wanted him to have great expectations. "Of course, if I get caught now, it'll be death for me," said Magwitch. "Then you must go back to Australia," said Pip. "Oh, I'm not going back. I've come over here for good. I need you to help me stay hidden. Pip found Magwitch a secret house by the River Thames. He visited him regularly, and they both grew very friendly. A couple of months later, Pip found a new, safer hiding place up the river. But as he rowed Magwitch up the River Thames towards the new house, they were caught by the police. Somebody had told the police about Magwitch. Just as long ago on the marshes, Magwitch was again taken away. Pip watched with a mixture of horror and relief. But he was a clever man, Magwitch, and he was a cunning man, and he found a way to escape the hangman's noose. So the police were going to kill him. They were going to hang him, but he managed to escape, or he managed to not get hung. But he did grow ill in prison, so seriously ill that one day when Pip was visiting him in prison, he died a peaceful death. So Magwitch was an old man. He grew ill and died. "My gentleman, Pip, my gentleman," he said as he slowly closed his eyes and said goodbye to the world. Pip's money soon dried up. Full of love, ashamed and apologetic, Pip finally went back to Joe on the marshes. The first person he saw was Biddy, who came running at him with smiles and her arms wide. Bursting with happiness, she said, "Pip, Pip, it is my wedding day today, it is my wedding day. I am going to marry Joe." Now, we didn't see this coming, did we? Uncle Joe Gargery, he's a little bit older than Biddy, not much older, but a little bit older, and they're getting married. Joe was really happy too. "Pip, old chap, welcome home." The fire in the old hearth glowed a warm welcome. So, not a happy ending for Pip. He's lost Magwitch, his old friend who gave the money. Miss Havisham has died. He's not sure about Estella, not sure where she's going to come back into the story. Who knows? But his Uncle Joe and Biddy are now happy together. Years later, during one of his regular trips to his old family home, Pip, who was now much older, wandered around the grounds of Miss Havisham's house. The walls were crumbling, the weeds were covering the courtyard, and the upstairs window was still blackened by the fire. Sitting on a broken wall, lost in a world of memories, Pip could hear the soft sound of footsteps. Turning, he thought he saw Estella walking towards him. Now remember, this is many years later. He blinked. It was Estella. She looked older, but she was still beautiful. "Pip, I hardly recognised you," she gasped. "I should always recognise you," said Pip. Like Pip, this was the first time that Estella had visited the house in many years. Since they had both last met, life had changed for both of them. Estella accepted Pip's invitation to visit him at Joe and Biddy's home. The next day, Estella sat smiling with warmth and mature beauty before Joe's roaring fire. There they are, set together. The warm glow reflected in her bright eyes as she allowed Pip to hold her hand in his. When Biddy and Joe went into the kitchen, Estella leaned over and said quietly to Pip, "I believe the ice around my heart is beginning to melt." That's it. Dickens has finished it right there. I mean, it's a bit of a non-ending. It's not really a cliffhanger, but he's left us not knowing what happens next. I think Dickens is saying that Estella is now not mean, is not cruel. She's not like Miss Havisham, and maybe she is going to allow herself to love Pip because we know that he loves her. A great story, great expectations. I know there are some children in the school who've actually read the full version. I'm very, very impressed with that. But you may well come across that again at secondary school. Right, it's brand new, but our final cheer boost song or silence of the year. Check this out. Will they get to cheer or will they get to boo? With either one there must not be violence. They may well get a song, but it will not last that long. We really hope they do not get silence. Hello everybody, and welcome to our final cheer, boo, song or silence of the school year. I'm very excited to be here, although it's very warm, so I don't want to get too excited and get carried away. Anyway, behind the curtain we've got Mrs. Warham. Now, many of you, all of you will know Mrs. Warham. She's been working at this school for years and years and years. She hasn't been in the building much lately, but we are hoping that from September we'll be seeing her a lot more regularly. Anyway, she is in to do cheer, boo, song or silence. She is so excited to be here. But what's she going to get? Is she going to get a cheer, a boo, a song or silence? What do you think? It's our last one of the year and I hope it's a good one. Out you come, Mrs. Warham! Mrs. Warham said that she was going to try and be positive no matter what the outcome, but you know, great work. Anyway, we didn't end on a high, but it was great to see Mrs. Warham again. Thank you, Mrs. Warham. Right, everyone, there's no audience reaction to that, purely because people are too hot. See you in the next school year for more cheer, boo, song or silence.
Will they get to cheer or will they get to boo? With either one there must not be violence. They may well get a song, but it will not last that long. We really hope they do not get silence.
Oh, wonderful times at Stukeley. Oh, what a great cheer, boo, song or silence to finish on. Mrs. Warham getting a boo, but just loving it, being there, just great. Shout outs to finish. I've got 2 books worth. Stick with me. First of all, happy birthday today, Josh W in year 3. Happy birthday, my man. Fun with family, I hope, and with friends in school today. And you've got the whole summer to celebrate too. I've got some AR certificates. Got some millionaires right at the very end. Freddie in year 6. Janet has got her 3rd million, her multi-millionaire certificate for 3 million words. Isabella in year 6 has got her 4 million words multi-millionaire. Robert, who is actually one of our Charles Dickens readers, 2 million double millionaire in year 6. George R, double millionaire in year 6. Matthew, double millionaire in year 6. It really has been an incredible year for AR millionaires, and I know we're going to get more next year. I know it. Yes, I do. Also, shout out to Lily J in year 2 at the weekend. She got her half marathon wristband in the park run, and she got a personal best time. 2 brilliant moments there for Lily. Max in year 3. Now, he was desperate to get his millionaire, but he only really got pumped for it a few months ago. And he has read 100,000 words in the last few days. He's still a little way off millionaire, but he just suddenly got the bug. Boom, 100,000 words like that. Massively well done, Max. And Megan, also in year 3, has also got some great reading stats. I mean, Mrs. Boswell's so proud of all of her readers. Emma, in year 4, you are also a multi-millionaire. I'm thinking 2 million, but I'll check with you. Absolutely top work. Mrs. Gavigan's asked me to give a massive shout out to Juniper and Rowan class for their fantastic learning all year. Hasn't been easy. Some children have found it a bit tricky, but everyone's tried to show their Stukeley values. It's going to be a fantastic year 1 for you in foundation. And a final shout out goes to one of my good friends, Mr. Watley. Yesterday, the teachers had a very small, distanced, little party outside the school on the terrace, just outside the staff room. They had a little bit of fizzy pop, bit of cake each. We said goodbye to a few people, including Mrs. Nightingale. I said thank you to the teachers for being so brilliant. And we played a little game. we played a game where you had to write down answers that you thought everybody else would say. It's called herd mentality. Some of you have played it before. Anyway, Mr. Watley won. He got the most points. He got all the questions correct. Yes, he did. So he wins 2 things. Number 1, he wins a jar of George's Marvellous Medicine. It's in school at the moment. I'm going to serve him up his own jar. So first of all, Mr. Watley, well done for that. That's the first part. And the second part is he wins a bit of a sing-song. We're all going to join in with Who's Got His Brand New Shoes On. It's a song that Mr. Watley loves. I used to sing it to him about his coat and now his shoes. So let's all join in with my song. I haven't got my uke. Who's got some brand new shoes on? Who's got some brand new shoes on? Who's got some brand new shoes on? Who's got some brand new shoes? You! Oh, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Watley. Good victory. I bet you never play any of those games ever again. Right, that's it for shout-outs. Tomorrow's the last chance. Teachers, adults, anyone who needs to know this, get them in for tomorrow, the last one. Right, most important 60 seconds.
The most important 60 seconds are coming up now. The most important 60 seconds are coming up now.
I think you know this already. Tomorrow is our last day. It's the last day at school for everyone before the summer break. Year 6 will not be coming back, although they've got a little party in the summer holidays. But year Foundation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will all be coming back in the next year group. Can't wait. Tomorrow's our last day. We've got big time assembly action going on. There's the last day assembly where I'll talk about the school year and say thank you to brilliant people and goodbye to brilliant people. Then after the assembly tomorrow, there's 3 things that you can watch. You can watch the Year 6 Leavers video, you can watch the Year 6 production, and a little goodbye video for Mrs. Nightingale. So that's tomorrow. Last assembly and 3 extra ones. It's going to be a great day. Have a good day today. See you then.